Okay, we are in Shmuel Aleph. We are chapter 9 and verse 1. Oh, wrong chapter. Okay. And so it says, Vayomer, Vayhi ish miben Yamin. So there was a man from Benjamin. And, okay. It's interesting that it has one way you're reading it, that it's Mibin Yamin, like I read it, and then, but we read it Mibin Yamin. So it's not two words, it's one word. It's not from the son of the right, but it's from the tribe of Binyamin.
Yeah, I'm sorry, go on.
Ushmo Kish ben Aviel ben Tzuror ben Bechora ben Afiach ben Ish Yemini Gibor Chayil. And this person's name was Kish, that's who we're dealing with. Kish, the son of Aviel, the son of Tzuror, the son of Bechora, the son of Avicha, the son of Ish Yemini, who was a valiant man. You were going to ask, what were you going to ask?
Nothing, I was just, looking at the way that it has the word separated, but then it puts it together in the brackets.
Right. Well, that was what we call Ketiv, how it's written, and Kri, how it's read. So, okay. So it says, where is it? When do you want to find it? Oh, here it is. So the Malbim says, Zechar Sibot Sheba Avaram Bachar Hashem B'Shaul is mentioning now the reasons that Shaul is going to be chosen to be king. Mitzad Yechuso She'aviv Shmo Kish ben Aviel. One is from the side of his genealogy, that his father's name was Kish, the son of Aviel. So Amar v'Nir holded Kish, and it says that Nir begot Kish. V'Pirish Chachmenu Zichron Levracha Aviel Hayakorim Lo Nir. So we know that. So we learned from this. The Rabbi told us that Aviel was another name for Nir. Al Shahaya Madlik Nerot Lerabim Vuod HaEfela. And why was he called Ner? Apparently he was the guy who would light the lanterns at night so that people would have light on the streets. Tov Mitatov Zechut Rabim. And this was one of his good merits. So this was his sign of his good merits, that he did things to merit for the benefit of the people, of the community. And also Kish was a valiant man. So the strength of the man, the father is what gave it to the son. Okay, so that's how they're explaining why he's called Aviel here and why he's called Nir in other places. Okay, the Malbim expects you to know that.
Yeah.
So that's always interesting when they want you to know that. Okay. Next, so and to him there was a son, Ushmo Shaul, and his name was Shaul, Bachor Vatov. He was a Bachor, which is a male, but is a chosen one. It says young and handsome, fine, and. There was no man. By the way, here is for your grammar from the grammar class. It says, there was no man from the sons of Israel that was good from him. In other words, there's no man that was better looking than him. He was apparently a good-looking guy. Mishichmov Mala, and he was head and shoulders above everybody. Kavod Mikol Ha'am. He was taller than everybody else. So apparently, you have a very nice, tall person here. The Metzudas David says when it comes to Bachor, which can be translated as chosen or firstborn, it means Nivchar b'masav. He was special or chosen with his deeds. Vayafe Mara, and he was also a good-looking guy. Gavoa v'hu gavoa mikol ha'am min katef mala. Apparently, he was taller than everybody else from shoulders up. They only came up to his shoulders.
The expression "head and shoulders up."
Head and shoulders above everybody. That's where we're getting it from. Okay. So the Malbim says, and why say to him? Mitzad, one is Mitzad. Another reason that if we're hearing about the story is Mitzad Shaul Atzmo, because from Shaul himself, Shahaya Bachor Bishanim Riticha Damo, he was chosen because he was young in his years and he had hot blood. Lo Shakta Bechol Zel Hayatov, even though he was young and he was full of vigor, and he had what do they call a hot-blooded young man. A hot-blooded young man. There you go. So still, no. Malbim says Hayatov Imeh Elokim. He was good with man, va'adam, and he was good with God and man. Lo nimshach letavotav. He didn't follow his lusts. He didn't do that. He didn't follow his lusts. We all have lust. He's a young man. He's good looking. You can imagine the desires that a young, good looking man has, who's still red hot blooded. Okay, so there you go. He's getting nervous with his telephone already. Okay. No, the memories, right?
Moving it out of my
right.
Mind, yeah.
And so until there was no other man from Israel. Gam. Even those who are of old age told Mimeno, nobody amongst Israel apparently was better than him, may be young or old, when it comes to character traits. And also his, again, he was complete with the appearance and his good looks. As it says, he was head and shoulders above everybody. Aviv, so much so that he was special from his father, that he had his father's strength. I'm not sure how you say miyuchad, but more than special. V'tov hamidot, and also again with his good character traits. V'torah koma v'yislach melucha, and that's why he would succeed to be. That would help him with the kingdom. Okay, one, he's going to have great strength, and he also has great midot. People like people with good character traits because you can trust them. I've always said, if I have to have a fact checker, I really don't want to hire that person to run my company. Okay, so here he was apparently very well trusted. And now it says, we get into the story. V'tovadna ha'atonot, and the donkeys that belong, the Kish Avi Shaul, the donkeys that belong to Kish, the father of Shaul got lost. Okay, they wandered off apparently, and they got lost. So now, Vayomer Kish El Shaul Beno. So Kish said to Shaul his son, Kachna itcha et echad me'ana'arim. Take, please, or actually, here's another, again, it's kach na. So kach is a command form. Na is either now or please, take it however you want. Here he says, now take. Fine. It could also just be, it could be being polite with please take. Whatever the case is going to be. With you at one of the young men, v'kum lech, and you get up and go. Balkesh et ha'otanot, and look for and search for the donkeys. So Malbim says, Tovadna, what happened? Why do we have to hear they lost him? Sipir eich sibe ba'al hasibot shiagia Shaul etzel Shmuel. It says, now here's an interesting statement from the Malbim. The verse is telling how the master of reasons causes Shaul to be near Shmuel with the supervision of Hashem. In other words, Shaul never would have met Shmuel if not for losing the donkeys. Right? Shmuel goes on his circuit judge, and Shaul's a nice boy. He has good midah. He's not going to end up in court. So if you're not going to end up in court, so I'm not going to meet Shaul. So here, Hashem has to devise a method in which Shaul is going to meet Shmuel. So what he does is he lets the donkeys wander. The donkeys wander. Kish. Now, by the way, what's the other part of this? If I'm going to, if something is lost, am I going to send out my chosen boy to go on? I'll send my servants. I'm a rich man. I'll send the servants, go look for him. Why would I send my son?
trust his son.
Trust his son, that's right. You're going to trust his son, you're going to make sure you're going to go somewhere, you're going to make sure you're going to do your best. So that's it. A father's love for a son. Okay. So it says, I'm still in there, right? Right. So it says, Nevdu ha'atono l'kish, so the donkeys were lost, or again wandered from Kish. V'nei pal avad nikshar tamid imas. I'm sorry. Imam. Okay. Okay, it's giving a grammatical point. Kilo nevdu be'emet. Really, they weren't lost. Rak ne'elum. Shatam was really just hidden at that time. So that Kish, the father of Shaul, would send them out. Yanki aya avi Shaul nelmuha to know kidei shelech uvakesh. Okay, he's just going to send them out to go. That's why the donkeys had to be hidden from the eyesight, if it were, as it were, of Kish. So Sivev Hashem Shiomar El Shaul the Shelich Baksham, and it also caused God also caused Kish to say to Shaul, go out. Ki lefi aragil haya sheyishlach et na'arav acharem, because normally he just would have sent his ranch hands after him. Lo apeno asher da'ag alav, not that something he's going to worry about. V'achakach afterwards, Rak Cain Natana Hashem libo. But no, this is why Hashem had to put into his mind to do it. In other words, if he would have sent the servants, and the servants would have been gone for a little while, he would have said, so they went to the bar. Who cares? No big deal. They were killed. Okay, I'll get new ranch hands. Never. Now I've lost my donkeys, I've lost my ranch hands. But when your kid goes out, now you're going to worry. Why is my kid taking so long? What's going on? Okay, so even with all that, Hashem put into the heart of Kish to say, I'm going to send my son. Okay. V'yavoret Bahar Ephraim. Now he passed over into Mount Har Ephraim, Mount of Ephraim, and through Yavo Be'er Shalisha, and he went through the land of Shalisha, V'lo Matza'u, and he didn't find him. Yavo Be'er Sha'alim, and now he went to the end of the Sha'alim. All this is places. I'm sure they have reasons for their names. Shaul means foxes, so it's also interesting. V'ayin, and there was nothing there. V'yavo be'eretz Yemini, and then he went through the land of Yemini. Benjamin v'lo matzao, he didn't find him. And he's going through a lot of lands, right? He's doing due diligence here. So he says v'yavo savav Hashem. So Hashem caused Shia came at Darko, that his way would be crooked, and he wasn't only checked, and they wouldn't only check places that were close, because it's not normal for the donkeys to go that far astray. Rakavar ed Har Ephraim, but rather he went through Har Ephraim, passed through the land of Shalisha. Wants to say that Kol Echad Mehem Avar B'derech Echad B'derech HaMevakshim. They went through like people searching for something, and they didn't find him. And then V'yavru Be'eretz Sha'aldim R'Shleimo B'yotam Be'eretz Shalisha. While they figured, while I'm in the land of Shalisha, V'chein Be'eretz Yemini, and also the land of Yemini, Hayalem Ezi Yediyah Ki Avra Tanot Shama V'yachakhu Ed Haaretz. So again, they split themselves through the land to search through. But when it came to the land of Sha'alim, they had no idea what was going on there. That's why it says there was not. They went together. Here they didn't split up and to search from. That's why it says they both went together. And that was when they were in the lands that they knew they would split up. Split the territory and see where they can search out for the animals. But when they're in the land of Sha'alim, which they don't know, the Badlands, if you will, so they're going to go together and they're not going to separate. And there was nothing there. Fine. Hema ba'u be'eretz Suf, so they came into the land of Suf. And finally, Shaul says to his servant, to his young man with him, let's go and return. Lest my father stop worrying about the donkeys, and rather he'll worry about us. Okay.
And if they had gone to the Ben Yehuda Mall, they probably would have found the donkeys and the servants.
There you go. Sadly enough, the Ben Yehuda Mall wasn't there in those days. Okay. Okay. So he It says, and again, the Malbim is saying the Hamas, fourth reason, Savav Hashem ki avru ad suf. So Hashem caused that they would go through Suf. Shesham haya Navi, because that's where the Navi was. That's where the prophet was. Yeah. V'sham natan Hashem v'libam she'yirtzu l'shuv, and that's where Hashem gave in their hearts that they would want to return. And also now the Na'ar, the young man, would be able to convince Shaul to say, let's go to the Ro'eh, to the seer, or in those days, that's what they used to call the prophet. Okay. So he says, let's go and return. So his servant said to him, Hinena ish elokim v'irazo. Behold now, that, by the way, it doesn't make sense to say, please behold. It says, behold now, right? There is the man of God, a man of God, is in this city. And he is honored, or honorable, however you want to say that, held in high esteem. Anybody that he speaks, to all that he will speak, bo yavo, he will certainly come. That thing will actually come about. Nelach Hashem, let's go to there. Ula yagid lanu et arkenu asher halachnu aleh. Perhaps he will tell us our way that we will go upon it. So it's interesting that the servant is the one who's getting involved here. He says, wait a second. I know this, I don't know how he knew, but he understood that the man of God, in other words, we're talking about Shmuel, is going to be there. So he says, Isha Nichba, the man that is held in high esteem, Yan hayu nimseim v'edahi anashem elokim nichbadim ve'emet, because there was found in those times men, godly men, who were held in high esteem in truth, but they would not be able to tell you, these men would not be able to tell you the secrets and the future. And to these saintly men, they didn't need him, they didn't need them right now. And then, so if you go to other people, they would only tell you through witchcraft, and that would not have been held in high esteem. That's why he says, and he said, so two things. There's a man held in high esteem, and whatever he says comes true. Therefore he said, let's go there, perhaps they'll tell us our way. They'll tell us the matter, and on his behalf, because of him, we can go on this way, and he'll tell us about the donkeys. Okay. So that he gives a very nice argument to say, let's go and see this guy. Okay, so listen to the response. The response is interesting. He says, "Ve'yomer Shaul Lenaro," and Shaul said to the son, to his young man, "Hine nelech umanavile leish." Okay, so we're going to go to this Navi. What are we going to give to the guy? You can't go to the Navi without money, without some sort of thing. You know, people don't do things for free. The bread that we had is from our vessels, and more than that is not only the bread from our vessels, but utshora en lavi leisha elokim. He said the bread is used up from vessels. So there's no present to bring the man of God. Ma'itano, what's with us? We have nothing. So why should he even answer us? Why should he look at us twice? Always a good way to look at the rabbinate, right? Okay. So he said, so Malbim says, here we're going to go. And he says, "Ba'ashir lo hikiru inyano shel Shmuel." Since he didn't know about Shaul, v'chashvu ki lokech matan shora me'ed haba'im etzlo, but rather he thought that this person is going to want a gift and some stuff from the people who come to him. In other words, you go to a person, right, and you ask him to tell you directions. Well, the normal expectation was you were going to give him something for this information, right? But we already know about Shmuel that he never took anything, right? It said that Shmuel would carry his house on his back. In other words, he took all of anything he would need for the trip, so that nobody would have to give him anything. Why would he do that? So he wouldn't be bribed. Nobody, he doesn't need anything. Not that he would have taken the bribe, but he doesn't even want to give the illusion of accepting something. He's a judge after all. But Shmuel doesn't know that about him. Again, they didn't have an internet. There wasn't Google.com. There wasn't anything like that in those days. So, and apparently, while people had reputations, it wasn't, even that would be hard pressed to say, you don't know about this guy? Okay, fine. I don't know about the guy. I mean, sometimes you hear about a Rebbe, and you think, I remember one of my friends said that he heard about this Sephardi Rebbe who was supposed to be a Kabbalist and all this wonderful stuff. And his friends convinced him to go. And when he actually went to the Kabbalist, he realized it was one of his old friends. And he said, "This is not a Kabbalist. I used to play ball with him or something." So he didn't. It was interesting how he perceived him as compared to what the guy may have actually been. I'm not sure what he was, if he was a fake or not, but it was very interesting. So here we have he says we're going to go. And it says Amar ma navi leish. So what we're going to bring to the man? The person who comes to the seer to ask to ask him for something. Ru'oi sheyishalem lo ba'ad tircho lehitboded ba'avaro. Now here's again. This is why we would pay this guy. In other words, why should I? I'm not allowed to be paid to teach Torah, right? Just like Moshe Rabbeinu wasn't allowed to be taught to be paid to teach Torah. Rather, we had a whole class about this that Lon shall learn. How can a person be paid? Because we have Zman Schar B'Tela. At the time, I could have been paid something else if I wasn't doing this, and so on and so forth. You're not paying me for the real act. You're paying me for what I could have been doing otherwise. Okay. But here he says, why am I paying the guy? He said, it is fitting, not you're obligated. It's fitting to recompense this person because of the trouble he's taking. What's the trouble? Because he has to have hitbodedut, alone time with God on your behalf. Not for his behalf. In other words, if I'm going to daven and I'm going to do hitbodedut, I'm going to go to the woods, whatever I'm going to do, and I'm going to get into one-on-one with God, that's for me. But if I'm doing it on your behalf, if I'm taking time to do it on your behalf, it's fitting that you should pay me. Right? That's all. That's what he's saying. Not saying I'm obligated. I'm fitting. It's fitting. V'gamaya darkam. So also that was their way. Shekola balifnei sar o gadol. Anybody who would come to an officer or a big person, ayamevi lo tishora. So he would bring him some provisions. Shehua mincha, which was a gift. Shenoten lo bavor riyud upon him. That you would give to this person because he agreed to see you. Kenyan lo yeru panai come, just as God says when you come to Yerushalayim during the 3 pilgrimage festivals, don't come to me empty-handed. It's only proper. V'hinei ha'teshora lo hayu netunim rak anashim nechvadim hamitraim lefanav derech kavod. And behold, the provisions you don't give them except to a person who is an important, esteemed person who you're going to have, who's going to cause this trepidation in a matter of kavod. Lo anashim b'nei b'li shame, and it's not talking about men that don't have a reputation. Sheyavo raklis shol sharkeim, and not just for the people who are just coming to ask for their needs. So again, it has to be that you have to be important. The person has to be important. Everybody has to be important. Who am I, right? Again, that gift should be according to that you're going to give should be according to your capability. So it's but the reward that is given to the ones who are to the ones who are being to ones who are asked. So that goes according to again the trouble that they put in. So that's why he says if we go, certainly we need to pay him something on behalf of his problems. And what are we going to bring to the man? We only have very little left. Because the he says, I'm sorry. Even though that we only have a little, and this matter of the donkeys is little, because even though that it would only be a small gift I'd have to bring to the guy. Still, and bottom line is we have nothing left. We use all our reserves. Okay? We didn't have money. So now when I appear before him, again, I should, since he's an honorable man, esteemed above all, I should bring him something. But again, I have nothing. So I don't have enough. I don't have anything to bring. Bottom line, that's what he's saying. He keeps going back and forth on one very important issue. When I go before an important person, I have to be respectable, and I have to bring you something. You're doing a favor for me. I have to recompense you. It's only proper to do. Again, is it obligated? He didn't say obligated. He says only proper. So that's it's interesting when we're coming down to the time that people sell chametz. Okay, they're all going to go to the rabbi because they don't want to do it on their own, or they don't know how to do it on their own, whatever the case is going to be. The contract is not such a simple contract to write up. It does take some, you have to understand the laws and what you're writing down. After all, owning chametz during Pesach is a prohibition, a negative prohibition in the Torah. We're not dealing with some rabbinic injunction here. We're dealing with the Torah, so I have to really get rid of the chametz. So what they do, they go to the rabbi and they sign the document and they give the rabbi authority to sell and they walk away. In the old days, what did you do when you went to the rabbi? You would sign it, you would give it, but then what would you give with it? Money. You paid him, right? That used to be the bonus for the rabbi, right? The rabbi would suddenly come out with $200, $300, whatever it was, or whatever they were paying him in those days, and that would be it. Now, why do they pay him? Because logically, it's a trouble that you go through to write the contract. You're doing me a favor. What happened was, from that point until today, somebody gave $5 50 years ago, or $1 50 years ago. They still give the $1 because that's what they think. I always used to tell people when they wanted to give me the money, I said, no, you don't have to give me money now. This is nothing. You have to, after Pesach, when I have to buy it back, that's a real negotiation. Okay, so you really want to do it, so now, and you do it, you have to pay me. And by the way, what do you pay your lawyer to run up your stuff? What do you pay your accountant? You pay him $100, you pay him $300. So guess what? And my hourly rate is also $300. I know he wants to pay me that, but but think about that. What you're really doing is hiring the rabbi at that point to be your lawyer. You're hiring to be a lawyer. You're writing a contract. So you're hiring the guy to be a lawyer. So really, you should give him a real hourly wage, whatever the case is going to be. So, but nobody thinks like that. Okay, nobody thinks like that. Some people, I remember they used to give $20 and that they were heroes about it. The truth is, if a lot of people give $20, you get a couple of hundred from that. But it wasn't meant. And today, I don't know if any rabbis get paid. I think most people just sign it and that's it.
Because on salary with their shul.
Yeah, but I'm saying I don't think anybody has a concept from my age group, even from your age group. I don't think anybody pays the rabbi anymore. Yeah. Maybe once in a while somebody gives it because they remember the old days. But for the most part, nobody expects it, and that you're signing the piece of paper. We do the sale and the send of it. But who knows? Maybe some people still do it. I don't sell chametz anymore, so I don't know what the going rate is. I give it to Rabbi Bowman.
Yeah.
You do it, leave me alone. You get all the money. Yeah. But that's what he's saying here, that it's only proper to do it, because you're asking for a favor. So V'Yosef, Hanar, Lanod, and Shaul. So Shaul seems to have a good argument here, right? We have no money, so what do you want from me? We shouldn't do something. So he says, no. The Nar says to him, V'Yomer already says, Hinei nimsa b'yadi. Wait a second. I have something in my hand. Reva shekel kasef. I have to him a fourth of a shekel of silver. That's what I have in my pocket. Okay. But natati le'isha elokim. I will give it to the man of God. V'gid lanu et arkenu. I'll lend you money here. I'll be a tzaddik. And he'll tell us how to go, which way to go. So this young man does not want to leave yet. Now think about how much Hashem really has to put into this, just to get Shaul to come to Shmuel. Shaul is saying, I have no money. I'm a rich guy. I have no money. We used everything up. I can't go to the guy. It wouldn't be kavod for him. It wouldn't be kavod for me. And this leper, this Na'ar, this young man is saying to him, don't worry, but I got a quarter. I have a quarter of a piece of silver, a quarter of a shekel of silver in my pocket. I'll give it to him. Okay? So he said, where is it? Yeah. He says, so the young man said, Zeh emet, it's true what you said. Shem tidra talifanav, that if you see him, upon him, you need to give him a decent amount. It's true what you're saying. I have no argument with what you're saying. I wanted to get a better definition of tishora. Just a present, so we have, okay. Eitzah, but the advice is Sharaksha. It says, I'll have a better thing. I'll go. I'll go with him. I'm a poor guy. And I have a quarter of a shekel of kesef. And that's going to be enough for him. And I will give it to him on his behalf. That he tells us where to go. And since I'm a servant, I'll have to give so much. So it's here. I'm gonna rip the system off. Okay, that's what the young man is saying. You have nothing to give, so I'm going to help you rip off this system. What I'll do is I'll go to him. I'm a poor schlepper anyway. I'll bring him my quarter piece of shekel, and we'll be happy. So he says, now we have a parenthetical statement. Okay? That has nothing to do with the story per se. In other words, the story that we're in, we put parentheses around the statement. Lifnim v'Yisrael, originally or formally in Israel, when a man would say to one who goes to search out God, let's go, come and let's go to the seer, ki lanavi hayom, because the what we call today a navi, yikarei lefanim haroeh, was originally called the seer. So what you're hearing here is a very important statement that because the navi, even though we know him as a navi, originally they were called a seer. Because what does a navi do? He sees the future. Mm-hmm. So he's a seer, the one who sees. Okay. So we have to, that's how you say S-E-E-R, right? Seer? Seer, yeah. So it's interesting that they had to do it because we're going to go back and forth. And also Hashem is going to pick on Shmuel later when Shmuel says, because he says, I am the seer. He'll say, Shmuel's going to say, who's the seer? I am the seer. Okay, very good. So later on, we're going to see that this comes back to bite him. And 2 years later, actually, when he has to go and get David to be the king. And Hashem says, go to David's father, what's his name? Yishai. Go to Yishai's house, and you'll see the person there. And he of course, he doesn't. He thinks the biggest guy is going to be the king. And so Hashem says to him, "I thought you said you were a seer." So he throws it back at him. But it's an interesting thing that we have to hear, that the Navi was called the seer. Okay, I will have to stop here though. So next we'll get into what seer means next week, God willing.